So this video is going to be broken into two parts, one uploaded tonight, one uploaded tomorrow night, and it's just going to be talking about some comics I've picked up recently. So let's start off by showing you all those comics. So in the next two videos I'll be talking about the Doctor Who series, issues 5 to 7. I will be talking about mainstream Marvel Universe Daredevils, issues 24 and 25. I will be talking about the Doctor Who Prisoners of Time storyline. And I will also be talking about Daredevils of End of Day, Daredevil End of Days, issues 5 and 6. I'll also be talking about issues 21 and 22 of the Ultimates. I'll be talking about issues 22 to 24 of Ultimate X-Men, issues 20 to 21 of Ultimate Spider-Man, and issue 1 of Ultimate Wolverine. But for today, let's just focus on Doctor Who. So currently, IDW is running a lot of Doctor Who comics, some of them in celebration of the 50th anniversary. So they've got this big event going on where they're chronicling shortly the history of Doctor Who comics through small editorials at the end of the comic, which are very interesting. And each issue is honestly worth it just for the small excerpt from the editor each month or week. I honestly don't know how often these are coming out. All I know is that in like 2 months I've gotten 3. Anyway, so each issue features a different one of the Doctors. For example, this is issue 3, so it features the 3rd Doctor. This is issue 2, so it features the 2nd Doctor. I've got over on my shelf issue 1, and it featured the 1st Doctor. And it does a story that would fit similar to the serials that involved that particular Doctor. It fits their kind of theme and style of adventure. But at the end, something very interesting happens, and whatever companion the Doctor had at that particular time that the comic takes place in, he loses them. They get kidnapped. And there's this shadow organization behind all of this. We don't really know what's going on. It's kind of using reverse dramatic irony and dramatic irony all at the same time. It's been very interesting. It's kept true to the feel of modern Doctor Who while keeping the flair of older Doctors. I'm very interested to see the rest of the Doctors' stories. I'm very interested to see a rendition of Christopher Eccleston in comic format. It's been a very interesting story. It's just one of many ways of celebrating the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, and you should be, if you like Doctor Who, you should get involved in this. Here's the cover for the 1st Doctor one. It's pretty cool. But this is actually on the back of issue 5 of IDW's main 11th Doctor storylines. So these comics are awesome. They feel exactly like an episode of the TV show from right now. It takes place when the Doctor was still traveling with Amy and Rory, so that's awesome. We get some more of the puns. Actually, issue 7 hasn't featured the puns at all, but it's still been a very interesting story involving the Doctor dealing with some cosmonauts up in space in the 70s, some flesh-eating darkness. Pretty interesting story. But overall, I've really enjoyed the Doctor Who comics published by IDW. They've been well done. They feel like a Doctor Who serial. There's nothing more to say about them. If you like Doctor Who, you're going to like these comics. They're gorgeously drawn. Like, that is... The art there is just amazing. That looks like Matt Smith. You can tell that right there's Matt Smith. It's really well done. Like, you can tell that's Amy and Rory on the cover there. The ship looks wonderful. It knows how to pace itself right. Dialogue isn't... Even when the Doctor goes on one of his rants, dialogue doesn't seem too cluttered in the panels. You have enough time to take in the art, which is, for the most part, good. I mean... You occasionally get moments like this that are a little bit weird, but it does a really good job for what it is, and I really appreciated the feel of these comics have been amazing, and you guys should check them out if you're all a fan of Doctor Who. In fact, this is a great way to get into Doctor Who, is to start with the comics, because they are a bit more lighthearted than the show tends to be. Well, actually, issue 7 wasn't that lighthearted at all, but that's besides the point. They're still really good, and you should definitely check them out. I decided to do one more quick, well, 2 more quick talks here. Daredevil End of Days. These are issues 5 and 6. I definitely recommend, if you're going to read the storyline, start from the beginning and go through the entire thing. It's a limited series. I'm not 100% sure if it actually takes place in the mainstream universe or if this is just a what-if story. I don't know the full details, but it's amazing. It's got a great team of artists, got a great team of writers. It's very film noir-esque. It features Ben Urich, and it follows him as he tries to investigate Daredevil's death, but throughout the story, there's lots of twists and turns. He talks to lots of classic Marvel villains, and you kind of see the gritty underwork of post-super villains' life. You get to see the underbelly of New York as seen through a common reporter for the Daily Bugle. You get your classic Jameson motivations in there and everything. It's a very interesting story. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it when I first started reading it, but I've really enjoyed it. It's not a Daredevil story. It's a story about Daredevil, but it's not a Daredevil story. It's very much so a story about Ben Urich. You're following someone who's normal, who's just your average reporter, and it's really neat to see this superhero universe through the eye of someone normal. I honestly wish there was more comics that did this. Actually, I think there was a Jamie Olsen comic that did once in the DC universe, which I've heard is pretty good, so you might want to check that out. But no, I fully recommend you go pick up every issue of End of Days. I've loved them, and I think you will too, audience. So, issues 23 and 24 of Daredevil. This is Minty Universe Daredevil. It's a great run so far. I've pretty much read every story. I think I've missed a couple of the early ones. I have a collection on my shelf, and I've just loved everything Mark Waid has done with this. He has imagine this character while keeping the essence of what made Daredevil. So you have his internal monologues that are all trying to constantly deconstruct what's going on around him and make everything make sense. But he's not depressing. He's not bringing you down. This is someone who's on top of his life. Bad shit keeps happening to him because that's what happens to Daredevil. Like, if you think Spider-Man has a tough life, he's nothing on Daredevil. Daredevil is the definition of superhero hard knock life, but he goes through these experiences. You feel like you're following someone who can handle his own, despite his mind as he's constantly overcoming everything that's around him. The action is great, the intrigue is great, the drama is great. There's lots of comedy, there's lots of drama. These issues are just a continuation of that storyline. I say pick up every single one. If you were to start off, I'd definitely say I'd say start at issue 16 at the first back is what I'd recommend, but even going back further to issue 1 would be great. But you could pick up issue 24 and you wouldn't be too confused. They do a great job at keeping you up to date on what's going on. The art is great, and these issues are great. It's just, right now is a really good time to be a Marvel fan. I don't really know what's going on in DC. I don't follow them, but right now is a great time to be a Marvel fan. Next week, you'll get lots more talking about the Ultimate Universe. Not next week. I'm silly. Tomorrow, you'll get a lot more talking about the Ultimate Universe, my feelings about what's going on in that universe. It'll be a bit more detailed video and probably a bit longer. For now, keep on gaming, keep on being a geek. Don't forget to be awesome. If you liked this video, click that like button. If you liked it even more, click that subscribe button. If you think I'm being silly, doing these gank designs, maybe favorite, maybe don't, maybe leave an insulting comment. Till you next time, have a nice day and keep on gaming.